Hello guys, this is a pre-market analysis of 17th of August. So what happened on Friday? As we discussed in the pre-market analysis, Nifty have opened almost flat, and then there is a move on the downside, sharp fall on the downside, but it did not give any breakdown, right? It took support exactly at the area that we discussed, that's around 24,300, and made a W pattern, and then from there was a recovery. So 24,300 is going to be a support. That's yesterday's low. Previous day also that's the low. And if you look at the previous day, 24,275. So 24,275 to 24,480. That is going to be the range again that we are looking for today. So that means 2 days back, a big range we got, that is 200-point range. That's what we are actually looking for. So there was a dip on last day. There was a recovery also. Previous day also, we have seen a range of 100 point. So Nifty again closed negative for the fourth consecutive session. Sensex and Nifty both were slightly negative because the crude oil price was increasing. It's around 87, which was again a 5% increase from the last week that we have seen. So all those are the reason why fourth consecutive session Nifty closed negative. Now coming to US-Iran conflict. See, again, the biggest risk remained that Strait of Hormuz itself. Before Friday, if you see, both sides were claiming the control. Iran said Hormuz was under Iranian control, and Trump claimed that US is controlling it. And during weekend, what happened is Trump went further and said that after defeating Iran, he could soon declare the Strait of Hormuz as a US territory. So again, if you see the actual shipping movement, Windward Maritime Intelligence data that's showing on Saturday, as per that, around 9 ships have closed through the Strait of Hormuz, which is much, much lesser, almost 1/6 of, on an average before this war and escalation, 60, 65, 70, that was the range, that the number of average, number of ships that's passed through Strait of Hormuz. But now it's 9, which is not a good sign. But most importantly, all these 9 ships reportedly used Iran's suggested northern corridor. So the conflict is very clearly not normalizing. Only 9 ships, and that is again can contribute later energy crisis also. Now again comes to US Iran. There is a new sanction on Iran which is coming. So US Treasury said on Saturday that US would announce new measures against Iran this week, and sanctions can be very severe, is what he discussed. And there are reports which are suggesting that they are looking to target roughly 500 billion of Iranian cryptocurrency assets that has been used for external purchases. So, see, again, targeting smaller Chinese refineries who are buying the Iranian crude also. So, the critical question is not only what sanctions the US is announcing, how Iran is going to respond to that is what the main question. Because Iran is now very clear. If they are doing something to affect Iran, exactly the same thing that they will do on the Gulf nation. Because Iran's response could again, determine the direction of the crude prices. So, like before, when US said Iran won't be allowed to export crude, exactly what statement Iran used is, if Iran is not allowed to export crude, then no other Gulf nations is going to export. So who's going to lose? US is self-sufficient in their own terms, they can. Right, but if other Gulf nation also cannot export, or Iran cannot export, even if Iran cannot export, we get affected and our market will get affected. It doesn't matter, peace is going on, attack is going on, war is going on, and all those things. For our market, what we need is Iran must have to export oil. The sanctions on Iran have to lift, which is all positive for India, right? In terms of our crude oil requirements, in terms of our gas requirements, and our market, our inflation, right? Our liquidity. So everything is connected because US is completely independent. Now coming to crude oil, now it is trading at around 89 per barrel Brent, and WTI 81.5. Again, there is a bigger concern for Indian market because it's now very close to 90. Anything above 90 is going to be a psychological negative also. So inflation, also it is affecting current account deficit, and then it is adding pressure to rupee, and it is affecting the corporate margin also, and or automatically it affects the market sentiment. So crude remain arguably the single most important global variable that we need to monitor today. It was 87 last day. We got a dip. Now it is 89, very close to 90. Further, I'm looking for one down move, and then there can be recovery. Market will be sideways, but one down move to 24,275, I won't be surprised. 24,300, that's the last 2 days support area. I won't be surprised if you get there. So there is a potential one down move, and also the government is looking to India's domestic LPG production target, and 63,810 metric tons per day. as the target which has been given. See, the one possibility, in fact, we can say is that the policymakers are actually preparing for the risk of further escalation of Middle Eastern energy disruption. If that happens, domestic production is the only way. US macro data, if you see the headline retail sales, what was expected is 0.2%, but minus zero point 0.6 month over month. That's not good. Core retail sales expectation was zero point 0.3, but actual is minus zero point 0.4. Both numbers were unexpectedly contracted. That's actually not good. So US markets initially was positive, but again went down to negative, but closed mildly negative on Friday. Now, again, if you look at GIFT Nifty, which is trading slightly below 24,400, so we may be getting an opening around 23, 24,350 level. So 24,350, there can be a dip to 24,300 also, and 24,275, that is the uh, next level that it can go. If that is broken, then 24,200 and for the 24,000 is possible. So we are going to get a flat opening. ADRs, if you see, both of the banking ADRs, in fact, close stronger, compared to the Indian market close. So there is a fresh positive arbitrage on ICICI and HDFC. So banks can support. And if you look at IT comparatively negative if you look at the banks. So see, again, Nifty will be flat because if banks are doing good, IT is weak. IT is weak, banks are doing good. So they keep index sideways. If I'm trading Bank Nifty, I can confidently trade on the upside. But if I'm trading Nifty, I have to look at other sectors also. Banks may do good, but the other sector may drag. Reliance is broadly neutral. Okay, so these are the main things that I want to discuss. And if you look at institutional activity, FIAs bought last day 500 crore, DIAs bought 350 crore. See, if you look at the last 3 days alone, the institutional inflow alone close to 10,000 because DIAs bought 5,000 crore 2 days consecutively. And last day, FIAs and DIAs bought. So almost 10,000 inflows there, but still market is going nowhere. So that means other than that, there are good selling which is happening. So PCR, if you see, new call OI addition is 5.7%, put 8%. So put is more slightly PCR up, increased, improved from 0.92 to 0.96, which is coming again back to neutral. So these are main things. If you look at retailers, they added roughly equal bullish and bearish position, kind of strangles and straddles, right? So broadly, they turned neutral, the retailers, and the prop traders actually bought puts. you know, in fact, the puts that FIAs are selling, FIAs are selling puts. That means FIAs have slightly reduced its bearishness. That's why selling put. That is why this area is now looking as a very good support. In fact, prop traders have bought the puts that FIAs sold, and prop traders becoming slightly more negative after the two relatively positive sessions that we have seen. FIAs are selling puts. So FIAs have therefore reduced their bearishness in terms of options. It is going to be sideways. See, retailers are neutral, strangles and straddles. FIA sold put, the prop traders have bought that. So not much impact, almost both sides. OI is the same, put call ratio is also same. Overall, if you see, the retailers are net positive 15%. Prop traders, it was 4% positive, but now it is 1.7%. FIIs are still negative, but reduce their negativity from 17.1 to 16.1. Still bearish, but compared to last, it is less. In futures, retailers are 79% long, DIA is 72% long, FIA is 89% short. This is where I'm very much concerned about because, see, think about if I want to sell in cash market, to ensure liquidity, I sell small fractions, right? I cannot sell everything all together. If I hold, let's say, 1 lakh shares, I'm thinking from FIA's perspective, and I'm giving myself as an example. So first, I'll short in futures, then I'll go and selling in portions in stock, so that anyway I'm correctly short in futures. So when you see such kind of short position in futures, probably they will sell in cash market slowly. That's what we can expect. So these are the main things that I want to discuss. So please be very careful. 24 270, 300 to 275, important support. Previous day low and previous day low. 24 470, 480 level is the important resistance. 24 500 if they close comfortably. 630, 750 will be the levels. But market will be in this 200-point range. 24 275, 24 475. That is a range that you need to look at. You can look for mean reversion trades also, right? But the decay will be more. So be very careful with that. Maximum call OI is at 24,500 and after that 24,800. But fresh call rating is coming at 350 and 400 also. And put side, if you see maximum at 24,000, but again, 24,300 is there. That will be a very good support. So 24,300 is a very good support. 24,500 is a very good resistance. And fresh put rating is coming again at 24,300 and 350, which is a straddle players. So keep all these in mind and trade responsibly. 24,200 is the critical technical support level. 24,300 is the major options support level. If you look at the major open interest, that anyway is not going to be touched. But if I need to give a larger range, 24,000 to 24,500, today's range 24,275 to 475. Okay, so or 300 to 500, you can take it in that way. So trade responsibly. If you would like to trade with us in the live market, you can join the sessions and you can trade with us in the live market where we have a Zoom live sessions which is going on. So talk to my team, join the sessions. I see you there. Thank you.